On this week's show, Peloton is said to be refreshing the Bike and Tread Plus this fall, and gamification and loyalty are coming to the Peloton platform.
Plus, Ben and Leanne are having a baby, Tunde won the Sports Illustrated swimsuit contest, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and Chris Lewis.
Welcome to episode 234 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Pelo Buddy himself, Chris Lewis. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Amanda, welcome back.
Thank you so much. It is good to be back. I have to tell you, I had a very special trip with my husband for the last 2 weeks, and getting my feet back on the ground and getting back to some normality and some workout routine. Oh my God, it was just too hard.
I hope you had a great time, but welcome back to the real world.
The real world, the hot and humid real world in Maryland. Well, I do want to throw out a big thank you to Holly for covering the last 2 weeks. She did an amazing job. I have to say, I was, you could see that by episode 3 that she had done. Her nerves were definitely behind her, and she was good to go. So, and yes, I did watch back the episodes, all of it, because I needed to make sure that I still had a job when I got back.
Of course, and here you are. So, but yes, thank you again. Thank you again to Holly for filling in.
Exactly. All right. Well, as always, folks, before we get started with the news, we always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
And we're on all major podcast platforms. Just search for Pelo Buddy and you can find us on all those major podcast platforms. And if you enjoy the show and want to support us, we're also on Patreon, where you can also actually get access to the episodes a little bit early. You know, they normally come out on Sundays, but when we get the episode out early, we'll upload that to Patreon and you can get early access if you're a supporter there. So that's another option as well.
Absolutely. And if you want to keep up to date with everything that's going on, make sure that you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us there for all of the latest news. But now let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, our top story this week is a new report that indicates that Peloton is planning some new product launches this fall. Now, in several recent earnings reports, CEO Peter Stern has been talking about how he hopes to unveil a product innovation roadmap. And he said it's going to be after this most recent earnings call and before the holiday season. So we're probably, we've been looking at sometime this September, October, possibly for those. Well, this report from Bloomberg kind of lays out some of what we can expect and timing on that. They are looking at upgrading the original Peloton bike with a rotating screen. So that's been a feature of the Bike Plus, is that rotating screen, but they're planning to bring that back to the original bike. And that'll be good for people who, Peloton's trying to push people towards strength more and more. So if your screen on the bike can rotate, that's another easier way for people to do strength. Now, they haven't said whether the screen itself is going to be how it's going to be upgraded. Like, we've shown some patents that show the guide features are included in a patent. And we know that the Peloton Studio also put in 4K camera. So will this be a 4K screen? We don't know that yet. In addition, Peloton is looking at upgrading the Tread Plus with a new screen as well. But where the Tread Plus currently has that huge 32-inch screen, it's possible that the upgraded screen is going to bring that back to be a 24-inch screen, similar to what the smaller baby Tread has and the Bike Plus. One of the things that people had issues with was the screen falling off of Tread Pluses. That was what one of the recalls was for. So this could help with some of those concerns. In addition, Bloomberg reports that we're going to see a Row Plus this fall. But they do caveat that with, well, this just might be them rebranding the existing Row to be the Row Plus. We saw them do that with the Tread. The Tread we now call the Tread Plus was originally just a Tread, so that could be a rebranding. In addition to all of this, they're working on an initiative behind the scenes that they're calling Peloton Intelligence, which is them trying to shove AI into every single product they have. They say this is their goal with this is to make workouts more personalized to each users and to push consumers to adopt upgraded hardware and subscriptions that support additional functionality. So Peloton might come out and say, cool, we have AI, in all of our products, but you need new screens to do it. Now, How many people are going to be excited enough about AI to upgrade just for that? Who knows? Some people in comments on this report have been like, I don't actually want the AI. Can I turn it off if it comes to me? So that'll be interesting to see. And then one final thing they're looking at doing is expanding their branded accessories. They've had water bottles, workout mats, weights, but they're talking about 3 specific things and maybe others, but branded seats, so you can change out the stock seat, air fans, so you can have some, a little, just the little fans you can stick on your tablet to get some air in your face.
I like that.
And then smartphone holders. The one other thing Bloomberg confirmed, and we saw this in the earnings report, they're going to bring the self-assembly to the Tread and the Row. Up until now, when you buy a Tread Row bike, professional assembly is included. Well, it sounds like they're going to push self-assembly to all the products. So if you want a free delivery, you're going to have to do the self-assembly. And if you want professional assembly, it's going to be, a little upcharge for that. And with all of this, as we said, Peter Stern has said there might be some price adjustments coming. And as this upgrade rolls out, we might finally see some of those, with an upgraded original bike, there might be a price change on that and some of the other devices. So they're saying this could launch as soon as October. They didn't give a specific date, so this is all subject to change. But this is probably the clearest look we've had so far about what some of the new products, I say in quotes because these are really updates of existing
products
ones and
that
just refreshes.
Right.
Yeah, Bloomberg report didn't mention any truly new products yet, but again, there might be something that they didn't get their hands on this report that could still be coming out.
All right. All sounds like good stuff. So I guess we'll wait and see, and you'll get it from us first. As soon as we're able to share with you what's actually happening, we'll be the first to tell you. So
definitely.
Make
and
sure
then,
that you,
Yeah, and then we mentioned in the last episode that Peloton, they shared a lot of information in the most recent earnings call. One of the things that we wanted to highlight was they've announced their long-term strategy under Peter Stern, and he basically announced 4 core pillars the company is going to be aligning themselves behind. That is improve member outcomes, meet members everywhere, members for life, and business excellence. And he kind of laid out some strategies within each of those. Improve member outcomes. He basically says they want to be the category leader in every cardio modality they have. And they want to grow strength and offer new content like mental health, recovery offings, and things like that. Meet members everywhere. They're going to do more showrooms. We've talked about the microstores. They're going to do more third-party partnerships and nationwide rollout of refurbished. Members for life. They're just going to be working on retention. We'll talk about it a little bit more later, but they're going to bring gamification and loyalty to the app. And then they're going to just things like that to engage the member more. And then finally, they're going to work on business excellence. And this is what we've talked about previously in passing on the last episode. There's some layoffs that took place. They're going to be adjusting pricing to reflect the real cost, which we hit again just a few minutes ago. As the new products roll out, they might see those adjustments. And again, making self-assembly free and adding delivery. They might call that just a delivery fee, but you're really tacking on $100 to the price of those products. So they're going to focus on business excellence to get back to profitability as well. We've got a full article on the website that has a little bit more of this if you want to read a little bit more about that from the latest earnings call.
Yeah. And in kind of expanding on what Chris just shared, we also had shared last week, Chris and Holly had shared last week that in the fiscal year 2025 earnings update, they had revealed their plans to expand from 1 to 10 microstore showrooms by year's end, just in time for the holiday rush. So this is really their way of making a big pushback from physical retail but this time with a leaner, more efficient footprint. So you ask, what's a microstore? We hear this term being thrown around, but what does that actually mean? Think mall kiosk meets Peloton showroom. I think that's probably the best way to explain it. It's compact spaces that feature floor models, consultation areas, and quick onboarding for new members, all without the high costs of a full-size store. We will be seeing these pop-ups, excuse the pun, we'll be seeing these pop up in Murray, Utah. Actually, this is the second location that's now open. Las Vegas area will be opening soon. They have delayed that launch, but that should be opening soon. And then 7 more locations are coming by year's end. So the expansion is part of Peloton's, as Chris just said, meet members everywhere strategy, which also includes growing that third-party retail partnerships so that more people can try Peloton in person, scaling the Peloton repowered secondary market from 3 cities to nationwide, as well as expanding the hotel partnerships and entering new markets, as we've mentioned in the past. Peter Stern did say that the first MicroStore's success in Nashville proved the model works, and allowing Peloton to re-enter retail without the overhead that led to past showroom closures is the way that he feels is the future.
Yeah, and then going back to the core pillars that I talked about, which Amanda just talked about one of them, but under Making Members for Life, Peter Stern talked about retention and loyalty of members becoming a part of Peloton's long-term vision. He specifically talked about in the letter, he said, we will do onboarding right, for example, by gamifying the first few weeks to ensure that every member embraces the golden behaviors, which are frequency, breadth, depth of engagement that maximize the likelihood of sustaining their commitment. And we will respond in helpful ways if members experience a lull in their motivation. And then they also talked a little bit about existing members that said, we will recognize and reward healthy habits and loyalty to our community with a new program that we'll announce soon, which will continue to evolve and grow over time. Now, one thing to clarify here, that when I say gamification, I don't mean lane break style gamification. I mean like a point system or just some sort of thing to keep many
folks motivated.
Yeah, that type of thing. Now, they've not announced what this is going to look like yet, but we have a pretty good idea of how it might work based on just what other apps have done in the industry and just some clues that are out there. But this could be a points-based system where you earn points for certain activities, such as if you take a live class on a certain day, you get a point. If you join a program, you get a point. For every week of the program, you get a point. Each day you send a high five, you get a point. If you hit a milestone, you get a point. Do a challenge, you do something in teams, you get a point. So you will then start to get a personal score, which you can then compare with your friends or compare with other members at the same point in their lifestyle or fitness journey. In addition to just, being a fun way to compare against each other, this could also unlock points and gifts for existing members. Let's just say you get 100 points. Maybe you get a 50% off apparel coupon. I mean, they get those every day, every week, it seems like, on the website anyway, but maybe you get a milestone shirt you can buy again. Or I don't know, just think there might be some sort of gifts or discounts you can do for that. And I think this will work for both the new and existing. The gamification for the new, just you're getting points, and the points thing will be like, oh, I need to take a workout this week to get my point. We'll keep them in there. And then for the existing members, the loyalty, if you're working to earn those gifts or discounts down the road, that could work for that aspect. Now, again, not confirmed, that part's not announced yet, but that's just what it could look like when it comes out. So, he did say they hope to announce that soon. So I would expect in the next month or two, probably they'll roll that out and, start getting that gamification out there. Just another way to keep people, they're trying to keep people involved, keep people on their membership engaged. And engaged means people are renewing their membership, which is what they're trying to do to keep that revenue up there.
Yeah. I'm already noticing it. I mean, I noticed that I haven't bought apparel in a good few months, and I've been getting text messages saying, "We miss you. Here's a extra 25% off if you want to buy something." So they clearly are keeping track of what we're doing, and you know what? I'm ready for something like this because I got to say, I haven't been as motivated as I used to be. I'm I came back from my trip and I jumped on, yesterday, and, then today I had to get ready and I just wasn't as motivated as I'd been before. So I think that after being on the platform for 6-7 years, you do need,
there's
a little
phases.
bit of extra, for sure. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that has to offer and bring to us. All right. Well, again, as Chris and Holly had mentioned last week, as part of the new $100 million cost restructuring plan aimed at reducing expenses and reinvesting in core strengths like equipment, software, and content, Peloton will be cutting, and now we do have that actual number. They will be cutting roughly 6% of its global workforce. And this equates to about 125 to 175 jobs. So Peter Stearns said that to earn the right to grow, we must align our spending with areas of competitive advantage while reducing costs in areas that do not differentiate us. So these savings will be reinvested in Peloton's hardware innovation, as we just explained to you with these new things that we're looking at coming out, their software ecosystem, and instructor-led content. So they're definitely, kind of bringing it a little bit more in so that, as we've just said to you over the last few stories, that engagement, that keeping people motivated and seeing new stuff, but doing it in a cost-effective way.
And then one other thing that, again, we touched on last week, but we really want to highlight is that Peter Stern and in the last earnings call, again, he said this several times recently, but talked about adjusting pricing. One of his quotes was specifically, "We continue to improve our unit economics and will adjust prices to reflect the value we provide to our members and the cost of operating our business, including shipping, returns, tariffs, and other fees we pay." Now, in the Bloomberg story, they did confirm what we were just talking about, how we're going to see self-install become free and a delivery fee if you want that professional install. And that's one aspect of reflecting our true cost. But in addition to that, we could just see everything else in the world, the price has gone up. Our prices are going up too. So we're keeping an eye out for that later this fall. I think they're going to release the product innovation roadmap. And either as part of that or shortly after that, that's when they will start talking about price adjustments and increases. He's talked about, we want to make sure that the value is good for what we have. And he says we feel good about what we have now, but we want people to feel good about the value they have going forward. And that's some of the new features they're talking about coming soon, getting those announced. And once those are announced, be like, great, there's more value now. So our prices are going up too.
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. All right. Well, switching gears. Peloton is actually running a limited time winter sale in Australia. So for those of you that are listening to the show and live down under, this is solely for you. They are offering up to 500 Australian dollars off select equipment packages. But just so you know, you won't see it front and center on their website. Instead, the deal quietly dropped via social media and is only unlocked with specific promo codes at checkout. So the discount will be valid through September the 2nd with the following codes: Winter Bike for $500 off Peloton Bike and packages, Winter Bike Plus, $500 off Peloton Bike Plus and packages, and then Winter Tread, which is a $400 Australian dollar discount on the Peloton Treads and packages. The codes will work, though, whether you buy the device alone or a full package with accessories. What is important to note, as I said at the beginning of the story, this is exclusive to Australia. There is no matching sale in the US, UK, Canada, Germany, or Austria. So jump on that if you are listening to this down under and you would like to, purchase something new or, take advantage of these of the sale.
Yeah, and then Peloton has actually quietly removed a feature, the sessions feature, which allows you to join group rides with others who are starting at the same time. Historically, there have been kind of two ways to take a session. There have been random public ones where you just load up the class list and it says these sessions are available. That was one way to do sessions. And then there's another way in that your friends can send you an invite and it's a specific session for you and your friends. It's the public randomly generated ones that are going away. So if you were used to going to your bike or tread or whichever device and looking for one of those sessions to be like, great, I'm going to hop on at the same time, you're no longer going to see those. Peloton put out a comment and it said previously members could interact with sessions two ways, blah, 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 blah. We've decided to stop generating the public sessions, but sessions can still be created through invites. So you can still create a session specifically for your friends and do it that way, but the public ones will not be there anymore. It sounds like people just probably weren't using those as much as I thought. Yeah. Like I've seen some comments that people said, I would hop on those and there was nobody there. So what's the point of doing this? Because I could leave, get on the same ride on demand. There'd be tons of people doing it on demand, but I was alone in sessions. So it ended up actually isolating more people than it actually did letting people there. So, could change. It could come back in a new way. But if you enjoy sessions, you'll have to invite your friends and send your friends the invite that way to take one now.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And we'll see where that goes. All right, well, Peloton's monthly in-person run clubs are back this coming Wednesday, August the 20th. There will be there'll be both New York City and London. New York City's run will be led by Bex Gentry. It's a 5K walk run along the West Side Highway. Members will meet at Peloton Studios in New York at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, with the run departing at 7:30 a.m. There will be 3 pace groups. So this is really important. They're trying to encourage everybody to do this. So it's not just for runners that are, great runners out there. So there'll be 3 pace groups, including a walk plus run option. So that's kind of a first time that they're doing something like that. In London, the Run Club will be led this coming week by Hannah Frankson and Eric Yeager. And this one is going to prove to be really special because it is going to be a carnival-themed 5K to celebrate the British Caribbean community with soca music, whistles, and dancing along the route. So you can only imagine that with Hannah and Eric, you are in definitely store for a party and you will not feel like you are running. They will start it out with a warm-up at Peloton Studios, which will be at 6:30 p.m. local time. And then they too will have 3 pace groups, and they're going to have a 3K walking only group. So if you just don't feel like running and you want to just walk, you'd be able to join in as well. The fun part about what London does and does so well, they will be post-run treats and Lululemon powered giveaways. Both events are free, but you guys do need to RSVP if you intend to go. They are looking for you to sign up in order to do this.
Yeah, well, changing gears to new class content, we have Andy Spear's new split strength program came out. It is a 5-day advanced split program, and this is the one that he was teasing back in June that we had shared about. So about 2 months later, we're finally seeing it. But it is designed to build strength and muscle by lifting heavier and targeting specific muscle groups each day. There are 5 classes, 5 main classes in this program, and there is one 15-minute full body mobility class, which you can take along with any of those classes. But they're all either 30 or 45 minutes. Day 1's legs and core. Day 2 is chest and triceps. Day 3 is back and biceps. 4 is shoulder and triceps, and then day 5 is full body. So you can find that in the program section of your Peloton app. And we've got full details and class list over on our website as well if you are trying to find it from a web browser or TV app because they're not there anymore.
All right. And a fresh meditation program led by Aditi Shah has been rolled out, which is designed to help members start their mornings with intention in just 10 minutes a day. There are a total of 8 classes that dropped, starting with a 5-minute intro to meditation, then 7 10-minute morning meditations. Members will be able to earn a custom badge for completing all the classes. The classes can be taken in any order, anytime, and are great for both beginners and seasoned meditators. Complementing Aditi's earlier 7 days to start your meditation practice, which is also available in Spanish and German. The purpose, and Aditi's gone live on Instagram to really kind of reel people in and bring people in for this. And, basically she said that the purpose is really to set a positive tone for your day, focusing on mindfulness, calm and presence right after you wake up. So it really is encouraging folks to kind of do this at the beginning of the day.
Nice. And then to wrap up the new programs, Jermaine Johnson has a new strength training program in the Strength Plus app called Pure Pump 3. This is a 1-week program with 2 45-minute workouts. Again, designed to be repeated like any other split program. Take it over multiple weeks to see your progress over time. Day 1 is focused on heavy weights and day 2 is focused on high reps. So you're working on building muscular strength and repeating weekly for maximum results. JJ said it might be only 2 days, but this program is designed to be taken again and again. So this is actually the 3rd program of JJ's Pure Pump 3 series. Pure Pump 1 was a 2-week program, and then Pure Pump 2 was a 6-week program. So now Pure Pump 3 is this new 1-week split strength program. Now, the other 2 programs we just talked about were in the main Peloton app. This one is in the Strength Plus app. So it's only available right now. Strength Plus only in the US to iOS members, still hasn't rolled out to Canada or the other countries, and still hasn't rolled out to Android. But as soon as that changes, we'll be sure to let you know. But if you're an iOS user in the US, you can check out JJ's new Pure Pump 3 program.
Nice. And then the heat, folks, has been turned up. The heat this summer with the brand new Sean Paul Artist series, which dropped this past Thursday, August the 14th. The reggae and dancehall legend is featured across 5 different modalities, from bike and tread to row and strength, plus an outdoor option. So Jess King dropped a 30-minute outdoor walk plus run that was on demand. A 30-minute full body strength from Callie Gullickson premiered at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. Camila Ramon has a live 30-minute ride at 7 p.m. Eastern, while Kirsten Ferguson did a 30-minute run live at the same time. Ash Pryor premiered a 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. premiere. So that was a premiere and not live. Members who completed any of the classes earns a badge.
And that's the new, we do believe that's going to be the artist. Well, it's going to be the Artist Series 2 badge. We did see the Oasis series got that as well. So it does seem like any of the new Artist Series going forward will be that Artist Series 2 badge.
Got it.
And then Peloton, as they've been doing it for the last year or two, shared their This Week Peloton post where they highlight a couple classes throughout the week. The first class they highlighted was a 20-minute focus flow with Chelsea Jackson Roberts. We then saw and that was on Monday, an on-demand drop at midnight. On Wednesday, we saw a 30-minute bar sculpt class from Leanne Hainsby that dropped at midnight overnight as well. This past yesterday, Selena Samuela led the 30-minute outdoor run club, and that was at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And then finally, Dennis Morton had a 30-minute sample of that ride, which took place at noon Eastern, and that's one of Dennis's signature series. So all of those should be available now to take on demand if you missed them when they took place live during the past week.
Nice. And then Birthdays. We had 2 birthdays this past week. Christine D'Urclay celebrated her birthday this past Monday, while Rebecca Kennedy had hers on Wednesday. So a huge happy birthday from all of us here at Pelo Buddy. And I guess next up is Instructor in the news. And we are really excited. This is definitely a story I've waited a long time to be able to share. Our Peloton golden couple, Leanne Hainsby-Oldys and Ben Oldys, have announced they're expecting their first child. Leanne shared the news on social media with photos of the couple holding her baby bump, writing, "With a little help and a lot of patience, it's our time." We don't have a due date or any pregnancy details yet. They have not been revealed, but the announcement was definitely met with an outpouring of love, both from the Peloton community and fellow instructors. As you folks will remember, Ben and Leanne got married in 2024, just last year after getting engaged back in 2021. And this definitely marks the joyful chapter in their life that they've been waiting for. As you guys know, they've certainly been through their share of stuff. And it is so wonderful to see them on the other side and now get to celebrate, after the wedding a year ago, now get to celebrate, please God, a healthy baby coming soon. So huge congrats from us here.
Yeah, congratulations to both Ben and Leanne. And then in the good news as well, Tunde has won the 2025 Sports Illustrated Swim Search Contest. So we had shared a couple months ago that Tunde was one of the finalists in the competition. She went down to Miami to do the runway competition, and then it was open for public voting. The public voting closed at the end of July, and everyone had been waiting to see. And this past weekend, they announced that Tunde was the winner. And with that, she is going to be in the 2026 Sports Illustrated Swimsuit edition. They actually made the announcement live at the end of her class. So this was in her 30-minute rolling hills ride from August 10th at noon. She was joined by one of the Sports Illustrated models, and then fellow instructors Kirsten Ferguson, Ash Pryor, Rad Lopez, and Hannah Corbin all came out and surprised Tunde with the news. So congratulations to Tunde, and we'll be sure to share more details on when that issue will be coming out.
And there's no question, Chris, that I got to add in there that this is when this community just rallies, because there was, I know I voted whenever I remembered, and I got to give a big shout out to Pedal to Paris. Jamie honestly kept me going, because if she hadn't had those posts, daily to say vote for Tunde, I may have forgotten. Your day gets busy, but her story would pop up and I would go straight to that link, and she'd have that link for us. And I would probably say, 95% of the time I was voting. So it definitely is is a huge shout out to the community and how everybody kind of rallied behind Tunde. And this is really exciting for her. All right. Well, if you've been wondering where Maddie Makkamo's been, he shared on Instagram that he has had to take some extra time off as he needed to get some minor knee surgery done and needed a few weeks to recover. Maddie said that he plans to return the week of September the 8th with his first live walk and talk, which we all wait very patiently for, on September the 12th. Though that date could shift depending on recovery. He has been posting post-surgery updates showing himself resting with Nana, his beautiful dog. He did praise the care from the Hospital for Special Surgery Sports Medicine, the Institute, and he thanked members for their well wishes. Certainly, folks, while he's off live classes, some pre-recorded sessions have dropped onto the on-demand library, so you can catch them then. But we wish him a speedy recovery. We need him back.
Definitely. And then Hannah Corbin was on ABC News this past week. She was giving some foam roller stretches and demonstrations. So you can find that clip over on her Instagram. And then she was also able to promote her upcoming guidebook, Did You Stretch Though, which is coming out at the end of the year. So she got a little promo in for that as well.
All right. And another healing instructor. And, I really love that they share this stuff with us because, look, we all get injuries. We all hurt ourselves some way or another. Some of us rush back too quickly. I mean, I've certainly shared over the 5 years, what I've had with my neck surgery and my back and whatever, and we need that time off. Well, John Husking did share a really personal post where he marked 1 year since returning to running after his ankle injury. He had quite a severe ankle injury, reflecting on his long rehabilitation journey. He shared on Instagram that over the last 18 months, he faced daily stress and anxiety about the injury, along with emotional lows like frustration, loneliness, and depression, especially when he was unable to exercise. And I think that does affect all of us. You get those endorphins from exercising, and if you're injured and you can't exercise, it's kind of like a double whammy. He said that despite setbacks, he focused on making his ankle stronger and more resilient than ever, pushing his rehab boundaries at every opportunity. He says that now fitter, stronger, and healthier than before. He says he'll never take healthy movement for granted again. He also thanked everyone who supported his recovery and offered encouragement to others currently working through rehab. He said, "I see you and feel you. Keep going."
So with that, I guess it's time for class picks of the week. And do you want to get us started?
Let me get us started. Absolutely. All right. First up, we have Anna Greenberg's 20-minute Oasis yoga flow. That was from August the 7th. It came to us from our faithful Amajar 3. And Amanda said, a fun yet challenging flow. We then have Rad Lopez in a 45-minute bike bootcamp, also from the 7th. It was at 8 a.m. Eastern time. It came to us from Julie MJ, and they said, love having Rad branch out to bike bootcamps. And then Jermaine Johnson's 20-minute chest and back strength, also from the 7th of August. That was at 1 p.m. Eastern time. It came to us from Allison8699, and they said, good, solid workout from JJ.
We have Ben Aldis and his 30-minute Oasis ride from August 7th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. This came from Jennifer Carroll 22, who said Ben was the perfect instructor for this ride. We then have Cody Rigsby and his 30-minute 90s ride from August 7th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. This came from Ollinger Debbie, who said it was a classic, fun Cody class. Then we have Charlene Wiedenbach and Mila Lazar and their 30-minute 2-for-1 summer break ride, which is in German, from August 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern. This came from Almajar 3, who said this had fun holiday vibes.
Yeah, and then moving on to a Susie Chan's 30-minute Oasis Run. That was actually from the 8th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Came to us from Tracy C. And Trace said, you can tell Susie really loves the band. And then Asal Aryan and Marcel Maurer also had their 30-minute 2-for-1 summer break full body strength class. That was from the 9th. Came to us from George L.S. 28, and they said, fun seeing this pair lead the workout together. And then Emma Lovewell had her 60-minute 80s ride. This was done from London. So it was, I think, her last class out of the Peloton Studios London. It was on August the 9th at 7 a.m. Eastern time. This one came to us from lots of folks. So thank you, Summer Baby, Casa Luke, Jane Griggs 1428, and Gwen Gets To. They said, fantastic playlist and program. Wish it was 90 minutes.
Nice. And then we have Alex Kowski and his 30-minute hit run from August 9th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. This came from Run Ride Rachel 18, who said it was really hard but achievable because of the setup he took us through. And we have Tunde's 30-minute Rolling Hills ride from August 10th at noon. This came from Alex MK Spence, who said, fantastic class structure and playlist with surprise announcement at the end. Congrats, Tunde. And then Mariana Fernandez and her 30-minute hit run from August 10th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. This came to us from Krabby Cakes and Run Ride Rachel 18, who said this one had great words of encouragement and the playlist was great.
And then moving over to the floor, Chelsea Jackson Roberts, a 20-minute focus flow hips. This was from August the 11th. It was a midnight drop, came to us from Gwen Gets To, and they said such a nice, gentle class full of hip openers. Then Jess King had a 45-minute techno ride. This was also from the 11th. It was 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Came to us from Spree Goldflow. And they said techno and Jess, such a powerful combo. And then Andy Spears had a 45-minute legs and core strength, also from the 11th at 10 a.m. Eastern. It came to us from AZ Onion, or AZ, I guess it's AZ Onion. The first class from Andy's new split strength program. Every class in it is great though.
Then Alex Toussaint had a 30-minute hip-hop ride from August 11th at noon. This came to us from Tara V, Steffi is Sweaty, and Run Ride Rachel 18, who said, so glad to see Alex live after a few weeks off. And then Camila Ramon's 30-minute hike from August 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern. This came from Karen Zemskaberry, mother of Kovacs, and Krabby Cakes, who said, booty-themed playlist and hard workout. We stayed at 11% most of the class and power walked. And we have Bradley Rose and his 20-minute 2000s rock ride from August 12th at one of the midnight drops. This came from Allie Ann 426, who said, glad we're still getting classes from Bradley while he's on paternity leave.
Awesome. And then wrapping up this week's Picks of the Weeks, Bex Gentry had a 30-minute intervals run. It was from August the 12th. It was at noon Eastern Time. Came to us from Just Dance Lisa. And they said, interval with Bex, hard, but you know that. And then Benny Adami had a 20-minute hard style EDM ride. It was in German. It was from the 12th of August at also 12 noon Eastern Time. Came to us from Amajar 3. And she said he loves this music genre and it shows. And wrapping up the picks of the week, Leanne Hainsby in her 30-minute bar sculpt class. This was from the 13th of August, came to us from Just Dance Lisa, and they said, awesome programming. And that, folks, wraps up the picks of the week. And there we go. We did it in pretty good timing, Chris. I think we really have managed to keep it down, condense and concise, and get the news to you folks nice and quickly this week.
Definitely. I mean, it seems like the next couple of weeks, we're probably going to have a lot of news based on the stuff they've been teasing in the earnings call and what we just saw on Bloomberg. But, we'll try to get it to you in under an hour and keep you up to date on all the stuff that's happening.
Absolutely. And as a reminder, if you want to get the news earlier than Sunday morning and we're able to download these episodes quickly and you become a Patreon member, then you can get to see us nice and early. So don't forget to do that. And obviously we appreciate the support. We've been bringing this to you. This is our anniversary month, Chris. I guess we were waiting for me to come back. I think it may even be this week or next week.
Wow. 5
years we've been doing this. And it truly has been a pleasure. And I got to say, I was excited to come back and do this. I kind of had like FOMO when I saw Harley taking my place. So look, we love to bring you the news. We love to share what's going on the Peloton, in the Peloton world and on the Peloton platform, and really do appreciate you guys taking the time to sit back and listen to us, and get to hear it here first. So thank you as always for tuning in, for listening, whether it be on podcast format or on YouTube. And we will see you back here next week. I know, Chris, you are traveling, so safe travels back home.
Thank you.
And we'll kind of wrap up these summer months with lots going on over the next few weeks for sure.
Definitely. For me, folks, here, not in Atlanta this week, from Hawaii, thanks for listening, and we'll see everyone next week.
Sounds good, folks. And for me too. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV. your source for everything Peloton. By the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag. And don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available. Just search for Pelo Buddy wherever you get your podcasts from. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.